All right, here we go. I think we're live. We're ready for some Friday night foliage over here at the Circle of Realms. We are going to be building at least one of these trees over here. This is going to be another swampy tree. I think I got two of them. I could be wrong. And maybe we'll be doing some bushes or something like that too. Who knows? Let's move that guy out of the way. Whoop, and he already fell over. Let's see what we got here. I'm already feeling pretty good about the part count. There's almost like no pieces in comparison to the other stuff we were building. So that's, I don't know, it's a little bit exciting for me just because I'm a little bit tired of stacking a gazillion leaves onto things. All right, let's see how this bad boy gets started here. Starting off with two pieces in a place where we could have just used one. I always love that. I love it when Lego does it too. Gonna click in two of these guys. Well, this is kind of a neat little base to the tree. I like the way that this is come together. This already looks a lot more stable than the last swamp trees I was building. I don't think I'm gonna have to modify this at all. So that's always a good sign. Let's see what we got here. We got a couple of tails. And we're gonna stick a bar in here. Let's just go all the way in. It must. Okay, it's a good start. Got another little tail guy here. Throw a big leaf onto him. Oh, and that's a bunch of tiny leaves right there. Plop one guy onto here. And we'll do one up here. Oh, I just realized there's one that's a different color. I don't think that comes up yet though. Plop another guy here and one at the end. All right, looks a little wonky. Wow. Then on the other side, looks like we're doing stuff a little bit crazier. we got a little bit more of an advanced looking branch over here. Whoa, where does this go? Right smack dab in the middle again. I like these directions so far. They're pretty high rated from me. Whoop. Simpler than the other trees, but man, elegant as well. And I've already lost track of what step I'm on. Here we go. I think that's 17. I'll lock this guy into here, and we have another tree branch here. It's the same exact build, I feel like, for all these branches. I'm not going to complain. I can just go into autopilot mode. Some leaves there and here. And then one off at the end. And it just clips in on the other side. I like it. Another branch. Gosh, what is my favorite Lego set? Oh, that is a hard question. Like, it would feel wrong of me to answer that question about like with a set that I never owned, because there are definitely some sets I've never owned where I was like, "Ooh, that would be really cool to own," and there's a chance that one of those could have ended up being my favorite. Let me think. As you know, I'm a Knights Kingdom 2 simp, so Vladic's Dark Fortress from Knights Kingdom 2, that set is like a 10 out of 10 to me. That castle was super cool looking. I'm trying to think of other ones I really enjoyed. Gosh, there's some Alpha Team sets from back in the day. Those rank pretty highly with me too. I'm not crazy obsessed with the Lego Star Wars sets. Even though I had a bunch of them growing up, I'm not sure if any of them really sparked joy with me. Oh, you know what might be at the Viking Fortress from the old Vikings line. Probably between Vladic's Fortress and the Viking Fortress. Definitely a fortress guy. Okay, what did I do? Did I skip a step? I feel like I have an extra. I've got all the parts to make an extra branch here, but I'm at the end of the instructions, so something went wrong. We'll just make another branch. Maybe like this other direction out here. The Death Star sets. You know what? The old Death Star 2 set, that set was really cool. And I didn't, and the ones that were kind of like doll houses where you could see all the scenes from the Star Wars movies. Those Death Star sets were pretty cool too. I saw that Lego is coming out with a potentially $1,000 Lego Death Star, which to me would embody everything that I think is wrong with Lego these days. $1,000 for a single set of any kind is just psychotic to me. But of course, it's a Star Wars set because I'm sure it has to pay the Disney tax and all that. Okay, now I think this tree is done. That's a neat looking guy. Simple, solid. Came with one of these darker leaves. I have no idea where this is supposed to go. Was there a step I missed that had a dark little leaf on it? I don't think so. I'm just gonna take it, add it to my pile of extra leaves, and smile upon my good fortune. I like this guy. This will go well. Man, next to this other swamp tree. I don't think the squirrel is going to be sticking around. Squirrel would be a good addition next to the witch's hut. Like Aina would enjoy having a pet squirrel over by her. Okay, that's one tree down. What was I gonna make? What else was I gonna make today? Do I have another tree like that? Let me take a look. Nope, I do not. I'm a little bit disappointed. That I really enjoyed building that tree. I kind of wish I got a second one of it, but that's okay. Let's see what I got here. What's in this bag? I'm gonna guess it's like a spruce tree of some sorts. Let's scan this QR code, see what it pulls up. QR code. Oh, that's not going to pull up a QR code. Okay, I think I got it over here. Woohoo! All right, how do I make this more easily visible? Okay, I think that'll do the trick. This looks miserable to build already. But yeah, the $1,000 Death Star set is just kind of, it's just kind of silly. I don't even know what would be the point. Like how big does the Lego set have to get? It's just after a certain point, even like the big Millennium Falcon they had and the AT-AT and stuff like the Coliseum, as awesome as I think it is, those things are just so massive for someone's house. You have to have the money to buy the set, and then you have to have the money to basically have a big enough house or space to display the set. Of course, I say this as I sit here in my basement surrounded by Legos everywhere, but But I think crazy setups like that should be kind of the exception, not the rule. I don't know why Lego would. Well, I know why Lego targets markets with such expensive sets, but it's just a little depressing. Okay, what are we doing here? We're doing four of these little branch guys on each side. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oddly satisfying to assemble. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. These pieces are definitely an upgrade from, I've got them around here somewhere, from these like older versions that just had the stud in the center of them. These feel so much more stable. I was a little bit worried when I first ordered this tree because I didn't think it looked like the most stable thing in the world, but it's actually, that's not going anywhere. Although I feel like it could just have a taller bar running up the center of this, because that I think is going to lead to some stability issues. $12 pieces, that would be 12 divided by 4 is 3, so 3 on each side here. Oop. One, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. All right, and then this guy is just gonna crisscross in like that. I like the look. We're just gonna do the same thing on another level. This kind of reminds me of like putting together the tree for Christmas, actually, where I'm like putting all these branches on and it looks like garbage, but then once you put them all together, it's like, oh, it actually does look like a tree. Look at that. One, two. And another one on this side. So I think these trees are going to go in Legna to spruce the place up a bit, pun intended. Because it just kind of looks like a snowy desert over there right now. Which is, I guess, fine, but... well, who am I kidding? It's not fine. Should look better. Needs more details. Not necessarily a bunch of trees, because that would definitely detract from it being a snowy, barren landscape. But it definitely needs stuff over there. Oops. All right, and that's going to go on there. I'm waiting to skip a step with this one. This is just going to, it just invites it. So many of these parts where I'm doing the same thing. Got that there. And then 2 levels where it's just 1 on every side. Yeah, I can't help but feel like there should be a bar running down the middle of all that. Maybe it's not really necessary. Who knows? I mean, I will in a few weeks' time after bumping into it a bunch. What is happening here? Okay, so we do another level. With all of these. Directions make it seem like I should have this oriented the same way as the one below it, but I think that would look dumb. Wouldn't it make more sense to still be crisscrossed? And then this thing goes in the top. And we put one of these on the top upside down. Ooh, very clever. Okay, that is a pretty satisfying tree. Oh, and I had a bunch of these extra things. That's nice. I could like make little cacti out of these for the desert. I feel like it's a good little perk there. All right, that's 2 trees down. Ah, what else do I have over here? I've got the same one again. It's going to be a little bit repetitive, though. Maybe I'll do that another day. Let's see. What else do we have? Let's see. Mock small brown tree set. It's a good number of pieces in this bad guy. Let's get that QR code out of here. Oh, it's stuck to the bag. I'm just being silly. All right, let's see. Let's see what these directions look like. Oh, this looks, I I actually think this is the same as one of our old cherry blossom trees. I just think it's going to be a little bit more dead. It's probably exactly the same. Let's see here. Back up to the start. We're going to be doing 1, 2, 3 here. Looks good. Other side. Oh yeah, I like this tree. Nice and simple, straightforward. I think when I built one of these the first time, I was complaining about how many leaves the instructions had in one step, but I have since then seen exactly how bad instructions can get about having a lot of leaves in one step. So I take back everything I said. And we're going to plump. These trees are a little overly symmetrical for trees, but I don't really think you notice. If you admire the tree, step 4. This is kind of annoying. How do these leaves go together? If I remember correctly, we connect at the middle, and then we're gonna go out on each side. You know what? I'm just gonna take one of my cherry blossom trees. What did we do? Oh, that is what we did. And then we plop that down there. That is aggressively brown. It's a lot of brown on that tree. And that leaf goes there. Keep rotating it. And then this tree is going to be more or less the same on this side for our leaves. One here, one here. Yeah, this is a very brown tree. I think it would look a little bit better with maybe just a few, maybe just one more shade of brown in it. But you know, it is what it is. How the heck do you do the top of this thing now? Oh, we just curve our leaves. 1 and 2. And that's going to go there. Definitely is interesting. I always feel like when I watch, I would say, much more respected YouTubers building things with Legos, they put a lot of emphasis on like their trees and stuff, having irregular builds to them and stuff like that. And I get it. Although I'm looking at this and I'm going, you know, this thing's perfectly symmetrical. Still looks pretty nice. Not much variety in how it's put together. It gets the job done. So I can have more time to think about rules and photograph units and stuff like that. Okay, so this leaf, rotate that in there, that there, and plop on our finishing touches. Okay, look at that. 2 extra leaves again. I love it. What happened here? Why does this tree looks so skinny and this tree looks so wide? What did I do differently? Oh, this actually isn't perfectly symmetrical. Well, it is, but these 2 sides are built differently. Huh. Interesting. Does that mean I should have even more extra leaves than what I have? Is that worth changing, or do I just like the way it is now? I actually think it is worth changing. I think that the way it is now, this tree looks a little bit too, like, it's just way too leafy for a tree that has a bunch of brown leaves on it. Honestly, I feel like I should pluck a lot of these leaves off, but that might be a good idea. But let's change up these sides at the very least. So these sides are just going to be 3 leaves on top of each other. 1, 2, 3. This is my instruction following OCD kicking in and making my life more difficult than it needs to be. Because I think that tree looked perfectly good a moment ago, but because those weren't the way the directions had it, that's got to be redone. Okay, that side looks good. I will say though, look at all these extra leaves I'm getting, even more extra leaves. Throw those over into the pile, into the boneyard, if you will. These 2 too. And then this just goes on top like that. Okay. Something else is wrong. What is it? This leaf right here. These should be on the bottom, but I have them on the top. Okay. It's perfect now. Now I can look at it and go, hey, I followed the directions correctly. Looks very nice. Look at that. I built these 3 trees in, I don't even know how long it's been. 35 minutes. Perfect. Perfection. We're making real progress today. Let's see. What do we got next over here? Another spruce tree. What's back there? What do we have? Oh. Unironically, just stepped on a Lego walking over there. And it hurt a lot. Do you keep the non-Legos segregated from the true Legos? The way you worded that, my guy, just a little... I do not keep... So it depends. If my non-Legos look like Legos and feel like Legos, if the only difference is whether or not they've got the little Lego print on them, I'm usually pretty happy about mixing them together. I will try to keep them separate as far as my builds go. So like buildings for my factions, those are all made out of actual Lego pieces. I don't cut any corners with them, except maybe for the like terrain base that it's on the bottom. Since the rest of the board looks like this anyway, it actually looks a bit weirder if I have Lego pieces for their terrain bases. But otherwise, I do try to keep them from mixing together if I can. But I'm not overly concerned about it because just quite frankly, it's not like the days of Mega Bloks where Legos and non-Legos looked super different. Nowadays, I mean, like, it's probably frustrates Lego a lot, but a lot of these like knockoff versions of Lego, they match their colors exactly. Basically, their pieces have the same feel, they're the same molds. There's not a whole lot of difference to see. But still, like I said, when I start converting my next team over and making their buildings, I'm gonna be ordering the pieces off of Bricklink. I'm not gonna be getting them from another source. All right, let's see here. Are there even instructions on this thing, or is it just... This is just a palm tree. I don't even know why I'm looking for instruction. I can tell from looking at this. This is just silly for me to try to find instructions for. Okay. This is kind of exciting because I never had one of these old palm trees like this as a kid. I always thought they looked cool, but I never actually got any of them. I will say, though, I'm looking at this right now, and this does look a little bit non-Lego-y. I feel like the Lego version of this piece, I don't know if you can see very well, but this has like these textured grooves on them. And I feel like the Lego version does not have those. In fact, I know the Lego version does not have those. Unless they did at some point. Also, shouldn't this be able to... Oh, there we go. Bend a little bit. That's kind of cool. I did never get to get any of these palm trees when I was a kid. I always thought they looked cool, but they never came up in any sets. And then Lego, I feel like nowadays, they just brick build all their trees from scratch. All right, how am I supposed to do this? What am I doing wrong here? I feel like I should be able to get all these leaves on here. Oh, the AliExpress version. Okay, yeah, that's true. So whenever I did this for my Lego Christmas Village, I have a lot of the AliExpress versions of those buildings, and the minifigures are garbage. The minifigures go straight into the trash once I get it. But I mean, come on, I'm not getting a knockoff set for the minifigures. I'll buy a minifigures myself from the actual real source. Just that Lego's gotten so extreme with their prices lately. What's wrong here? Is this supposed to Lego home tree? Are you supposed to be able to fit 4 of these leaves onto one of these things? My poor internet is trying so hard. It's like, bro, you're streaming and you're recording, and what is all this? Okay, all right, I don't feel bad anymore. This doesn't look like this is supposed to. 1, 2, okay. All right, so maybe if we get these as low as possible, we can put another one as high as possible. I don't know. Maybe it's just not worth trying to squeeze all of the leaves onto there. I mean, why do that? Why not save the other leaves for another tree? Okay, so that's one set of leaves, and then okay, what do we think? How does he look? I feel like these leaves are a little bit too, maybe rotated a bit. Okay, that I think looks better. Oh, this one's got a bit of like a bendy warp wear on it. Let's use this one instead. OG Lego palm trees remind you of the mid-90s, the chill vibes playing with Legos in a bit cold basement. Oh, I'm so with you. Except, like I said, I never had the palm trees. So I'm with you for most of it. All right, that's gonna just need to be added directly to the board somewhere at some point. Alrighty, look at all these extra leaves I've amassed from all these other trees so far. That's crazy. It's awesome because honestly, I wanted to add some trees to the Vikings, not the Vikings, to the Rebels buildings and some other areas of the board. So it's good to have some extra leaves. Never gonna turn those down. All right, where are we going next? What else do we have here? All right, we got Mach 3025. Whatever this is. If it will come out, this is like tightly packed in here. Come on. Is that it? Bag in a bag? Oh, and paper instructions this time. No QR code. And when I say paper instructions, I mean it looks like I just printed these off of my printer upstairs. These are paper. I don't know what the best way is to share those with you guys because I'm not really sure what it is. Bunch of these. These I feel like, what are these? The same size as the space? Yeah. These are probably gonna go directly onto spaces at some point. Maybe I can find a picture of this at least and blow that up. What was this? AliExpress Lego bush. I'm sure that search is going to bring it up right away. All right, I'm going to try to look for like 30 seconds, and if I don't find these bushes, we're just going to get into building. I guess it makes sense that I'm not finding them because I think I was searching Lego tree when I got these bushes. All right, one last page here. Push, push, push. No, 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 no. All right, that's okay. A lot of pink going on here. This looks like a pretty thing. So we just start off with one little stick like that. Oh, there's one of those on top of it. One of those little, I don't know, snot pieces. And that there, and then what is going on with this? This is crazy. Is this actually a Lego piece? This is like that other one, but a lot more extreme. I don't know if I've seen. Oh, I haven't really seen one of these before. That being said, I don't buy a whole lot of contemporary sets straight up anymore. I just buy parts. So there's this, and oh, that's kind of clever. So the flower goes into the leaf like so, and then the flower goes into the stem, and the leaves are going to cover up all of this stem. So that's kind of neat. It's going to be very repetitive, but pretty cool. It's a newer piece, something that you'd find in like the modular buildings and stuff like that. Maybe that new botanical garden set. Ooh, I don't know how exactly to do all this. So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if this bush is straight up a copy from a Lego set too. That is how these things tend to go. Okay, so I'm making 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. I don't really know. Okay, I think that's going to go there. And then this goes here. So I want to keep those leaves. I don't want those leaves to be touching, or not the leaves. I don't want the flowers to be touching each other, because that's not going to look very good. I think that looks nice. And then what? I'm going to do that same thing. How many more times am I going to do that? Gosh, who knows? Kind of like 3 more times. Oh, except these get more and more complicated each time. So that one was 4, but the next one's going to have 5. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Huh. I will tell you what, I'm already sick of this one. I'm like, please, these bushes. Ugh. Let's see. Lego YouTubers by name. Oh my gosh, I have to double check their names. I just know what videos they do. Let me take a look. There's that one guy who does a lot of like medieval stuff, and he had his own little Lego war game thing that he made. I can't remember his name though. Brick Crafts, I enjoy. I think he's the one with the like super giant Lego city. He's fun to watch. I like the stuff that he puts together, and I like how he explains his thought process. There are a couple. I like Jang Bricks because I just feel like Jang Bricks says everything I'm thinking when he's talking about Lego all the time. He has the same complaints that I have, but he finds the same things cool that I do. I'm guessing that's more or less the case for just about everybody who watches him because he is such a popular YouTuber. I imagine you don't get that way by having a bunch of opinions that no one agrees with. Yeah, there were 2 others who had like Lego war game things, but they felt like 1 or 2 off videos. They weren't I mean they weren't like this. They weren't as like in depth or necessarily like as frequently played. So they felt like they were projects by the YouTubers to kind of be like, hey, look, cool! I made Legos into a Lego war game, and then kind of moving on, as opposed to the Circle of Realms, which has been like kind of consistently been being played with me and my friends for quite some time, and is like ever evolving and stuff like that. I don't know if I've ever seen anything by bricking up Brad. Most of the YouTube I watch, I am watching with my wife, either as we go to bed or as we're doing other things. And she's not as into watching Lego YouTubers for extended periods of time. Oh, you know who else I love? I love Cheesy Studios. He like looks at all the retro sets. I feel like takes me right back to my childhood every time he's looking at things. Oh, and I could never forget. Is it RR Slugger? the guy with the Rock Raiders Slimy Slug as his kind of, I don't know, his persona or whatever. He's a cool channel too. In part because I just love Lego Rock Raiders, so that gets a lot of love from me. What did I just do here? I feel like I just did the same thing twice. What happened? Oh no, I didn't. I'm on the right track. Okay, this one's just gonna have 3. Oh, that does sound cool. Castle faction brackets. Like ranking the best castle factions? Was that their kind of deal? Almost like a tier list, but a bracket? I also only ever had one Lego Rock Raider set, but I will tell you, I played a lot of the Lego Rock Raiders computer game. Unhealthy amounts. And then I found out that someone had the audacity to remake the Lego Rock Raiders video game on a modern engine and then add a bunch of features to it. And then I played that like last year a ton as well. But I only ever had one actual Rock Raider set. But I love the aesthetic, and I always wanted all of the sets. They just came in kind of like when I was I'd say probably a little bit young to be buying that many Lego sets. Like a March Madness, but for castle factions. I'll have to check that out at some point. I definitely feel like I need to incorporate more castle, like classic castle factions into the Circle of Realms at some point, but I never had a lot of them or a lot of pieces from them. So some of them make their way in as a character or two, but never anything more than that. Okay. I have made all of the covers that go onto the bush. Now the question is, can I get all of these on my first try? Oh, I already broke it. This is... Okay. Maybe get the top on. Move this leaf out of the way. Come on. Okay, I don't know. That looks... It looks like I've done something wrong here because this is a little bit too low. What can I do to fix that? Can I rotate this at all? Oh, don't worry. I do not feel pressured to add anything extra to the game that's not already there. Honestly, the big thing I want to do is get all the old factions that I had back in. That would be more important to me. Absolutely destroyed a piece trying to build something. Oh, the brown. I've done it with so many. The new reddish brown, not the old brown color. The old brown color was amazing and awesome, but new. I call it new, but like it's probably like a 20-year-old color at this point. But the reddish brown color, oh my god, I've broken so many of those things, especially recently. I think it's because my pieces are so old. I'm gonna try taking that leaf off and see what happens. That looks a little bit better. The what was I working on that I broke it? One of the rebel buildings, the command center, the rebel command center. Let me see where it is. Okay. So just this part of the rebel command center. There are these stairs on the backside, and both of them are actually broken now because the little piece that's at the end of the stairs snapped off when I was trying to disassemble this to rebuild it or reconfigure it. So those are like the biggest offender to me, are the reddish brown stair pieces. But I've broken a number of plates too. But it's that color. That's the big color that does it all the time. Like I could literally, I watched someone do this in a video, and I don't want to do it to any of my own pieces, but I watched someone just crush one in his hands in a video. Just squeezed it really hard, and the piece just crumbled. And that to me is just crazy. That and the pearl gold pieces, I think is the color. Those ones are super fragile too. Okay, this bush is causing me issues. Maybe now we can fit the top on. I almost feel like I should have put all of the stalks onto here and then started putting the leaves on. And by almost, I mean I definitely should have started by putting all of the stalks onto the bush and then adding the leaves. I'm kind of tempted to just do that right now, to restart this. I don't know. How does he look as is? Oh, he's still not actually clicking on. Let's see. How about now? Okay. All right. It looks, it looks pretty good for the most part. I'm okay with it. A reason I've heard is that around 2008, they changed the formula for the brown pigment, and it sadly made the piece brittle. They changed it again around 2012, and it's stable nowadays. Oh, is that really true? I don't know. I wouldn't have, around 2012. Let me think. That might add up with the pieces I see in the sets that I have. Maybe I'm knocking the wrong, maybe I'm knocking a piece that's been fixed for a long time. I will say, it is very frustrating. I'm guessing a lot of other Lego people feel this way too. It's very frustrating to me that, oh my gosh, wait a second. Oh, I just realized the reason why I was having such a hard time attaching this. There's supposed to be a plate. One of these little round stud plates underneath this thing. Wow. And now I feel silly. Should I put this leaf back on? Will this work now? Yep, it sure does. How about this one over here? Wow, look at that. It does too. Okay, anyway, I don't even remember what I was saying. What was I saying? What was I complaining about? Oh, when Lego switched all their colors on us, it's obviously not a problem for most people nowadays because it happened so long ago, but old light gray and old dark gray versus the newer versions of those colors, I still have a lot of both in my collection, so it's very frustrating when I'm trying to build something with grays because I don't like mixing them because they don't look good when they mix together, to be honest. I think the only time they look good when they're mixing together is when you're trying to actually make like a black and white mosaic and you're using it for the extra shade. But yeah, that is an annoying thing. And it's annoying too because if you're in a low light situation, which, I mean, my basement isn't really low light nowadays. I mean, it is. There are some parts of it that are, but I can just move to a different part that has a very good lighting situation. But in the past, a lot of areas I would build in, they didn't have the best lighting if the sun was already down or something like that. And it can be hard to tell those new grays from those old grays. But then you would go back into like good lighting and you could immediately see which was which. So if you accidentally used one in the wrong spot, then it was like, oh, that kind of makes everything look ugly. Speaking of ugly, why can't I get this in all the way? Oh, come on. There we go. I think I got it now. The old red gray and blue gray because I'm a barbarian. You mix them. That is very barbaric. No, that's something that triggers me a lot when I see those. If I accidentally mix them, it's like, oh my God. Oh, I accidentally broke that piece. Kind of predictably, I would say, from what I was just doing to it. I hope that's not gonna be that big of a deal. Let's just try to push. Oh, this one's kind of broke too. We screwed up. Screwed up, boys. I pushed too hard. And I should have just let that gap be there. Because let's be real, you can't see it when it's covered in all those leaves anyway. Do I have enough extras to offset that? I do not. This is, of course, the one that does not come with extra leaves or foliage is the one that I destroy in the building process. That's okay. I'm sure we throw enough leaves on it and no one will know. No one will be the wiser. So how many leaves does a bush actually have in total? There's 4, 10, 15, 21, 24. All right, we're gonna make 24 of these guys, and we're gonna try to put as many of them on as we can. Delve too greedily and too deep. Yeah, and I've been punished severely for it. That's 4. We're making 24 of these. Remember, 24. If I forget that number, or maybe type it in the chat. That's 5. That's 4. Now it's another 5. I will say I was thinking about buying 6 of these bushes instead of 3. I think I am glad I settled on just 3 because it's kind of a repetitive build. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not that the other trees aren't repetitive, but this is a special kind of repetitive that is driving me a little bit crazy right now. Five, 10, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I will say I do not know how some people like brickcrafts, I think. Like with his big Lego city where he has all these amazing brick built trees and he's got like literally like I feel like 40 plus of them in a landscape. I'm just like, gosh, how could you bring yourself to do that? It's so much. Okay, all right, we got our leaves. We're gonna try to put them on this bush without breaking it any further. See if we can cover up this area that we really screwed up. It's my white whale sets. What does that expression mean, white whale? Like the set that got away, the set that I would love to own. What would that be? Oh my god, that looks pretty bad. Can I rotate this? Can I get it to turn? Can't have or would love to have. I don't know. Right now there's a pretty nice number of sets out there that are really cool. I would kind of love the new castle, but I really can't justify getting it, the lion one, because I just don't actually think it would work very well with what I already have here in the aesthetic, and it is honestly, it's so big. But it ranks highly to me. The Dungeons and Dragons set is more tempting. I like that one a lot. But sets I would really love to have are gonna be like old sets that I missed out on, like the ninja, the old ninja sets, not Ninjago, but the old ninja sets that had where it was just like ninja and samurai. I think it was basically like an offshoot of Lego Castle. Those they had the like big wall or ninja fortress or whatever, and that was a set I really wanted to have. And I still want it. And I think I'm just gonna get it one day. Probably gonna get it, and I'm probably gonna use it in the Lego game at some point. That's the plan. It's not actually prohibitively expensive. Your wife got it for me. The $400, the Dungeons and Dragons one or the castle, Lion's Castle or the Dungeons and Dragons castle. I think are they both 400? Maybe just the one. Maybe the Dungeons and Dragon one's cheaper. But it's big, and it's like, and even like I'm sitting here and I'm like, God, it'd be cool to have for down here on my Lego board, but it's still so big, it would destroy part of the board, and to be honest, it also just it uses newer building techniques and stuff. So I think it would look out of place too. Yeah, that castle. Because it would just be too, I don't know. I don't want to say like it would look too good, but it kind of would. Well, oh no, what did I do? Oh, we're good. We're okay. I think we're okay. Yeah, we're fine. Like it uses a lot of snot techniques and stuff like that. And I think it would look out of place with the kind of blockier builds that I have here. But I would love it one day. Actually, I'm honestly more interested in the Creator Castle that came out before it. That one's more my speed. Yeah, I agree. Over-engineered. And it takes up too much space. But that's kind of my issue with a lot of Lego these days. It's also super big. Okay. We broke this little part of this bush. It's still sadly visible. But what are you going to do? Lesson learned. It looks pretty good otherwise. Rest in peace. My little broken branches. I'll put those in one of these bags so I remember to throw them away. That castle is majestic though. I love how it opens up, how there's all the detail. It is, the other thing too is it's so I remember looking at it and I was being like, it's got all these like kind of round angles to it. And I thought it'd be kind of difficult to put my spaces on since my space is on like a square grid. So that was something else that kind of drew me away from really wanting it. Although I think after a certain point, I was just sitting there and trying to be like, okay, how can I explain to myself that I don't need to spend $400 on this? Okay, so I learned my lesson. If I can't get it in all the way, it doesn't matter. No one can see it. It'd be better to have these branches sticking out a little bit than to break them. I do think, even though I haven't seen the official Lego version of this piece, I'm going to guess that the official Lego version uses a softer plastic that's not quite so brittle. I think it would have been harder to actually break a real Lego piece of this. Because Lego tends to use a soft plastic for all their branches. These are actually really, really stiff. I know you can't tell, but they are. You'll have to trust me. All right, the rest of these guys are gonna get leaves in them. Oh yeah, put a rabbit down there. Put that this squirrel over here. Move him from that tree, and we put him next to the bush. Oopsies. Put him in the bush. Put the bush back over him. Wow, look at that. It's perfect. Brilliant idea. Even though squirrels don't really eat leaves. Covers it up. That was smooth. An S tier recommendation right there. All right, back to these obnoxious leaves. My gosh. I am noticing that I've got some extra pieces. I'm gonna assume that those are actually extra pieces and I didn't screw something up. Yep, they're actually extra pieces. And that's good. I could use some of those. So I still need something to clog the bases of the big swamp trees that I built. And those little pieces will do just nicely. Oh my gosh, so many leaves. I was looking at that new Lego Botanical Garden set and I'm like, that looks awesome. But I wonder how much of it is just building like this over and over and over again. Okay, let's see if that's enough leaves before we get too crazy here. I will say I definitely like the final product of this build. It does. It's so irregular and we got leaves going in every direction. It doesn't really look like you could have done it with Lego. It's kind of like, whoa, how'd this happen? Woo! Something that enthused about modern Legos, the details is a double-edged sword. Yeah, I'm in general kind of the hurt fingers, all that stuff. I'm kind of opposed to more detail in general for the official Lego sets, especially like the younger ones. Like I don't understand why. Like I guess I get it in like the collector series sets, and to be fair, those sets have a lot more detail than the other sets. But even like the sets that are aimed at, I would think children, they're a lot more detailed too. And I don't know. I just don't know why. It feels like when I was a kid, I was way happier to have like a $20 X-Wing than like a hyper detailed $50 X-Wing. You just want more stuff when you're a kid, I feel like. But even like the non-UCS sets that Lego comes out with, like even like I'm gonna go to the what I in my opinion is like the ultimate children's sets, the Ninjago sets. Those sets have some crazy amount of details in them. Those mechs and stuff and dragons, it's off the charts how detailed they are. And I just don't understand. I mean, I guess it must sell well and stuff, but I would rather have some less detailed things and just more things. What did I do here? This is kind of awkward. These two these two stalks are like touching each other. And it's not going to be easy to rotate. Oh, there we go. Problem solved. I was like, should I just break one off? I'm going to take this piece and rearrange it, I think this way. All right, this one's going to be the best looking of the bushes because I've learned from all my mistakes. At least I think I have. Oop. I think that base plates are a good, like kind of like raised base plates are a good example of that. Like an area where Lego nowadays would never do a raised base plate, to the point where like when they made their, granted this was kind of the point, but when they made their updated version of the, oh God, what is it? That one pirate, Buccaneers Bay or something like that. They brick built the raised base plate, which is just hilarious. But like I almost felt like a satire of itself at that point, where it's like, oh yeah, we can't do a big piece like that. It's got to be super detailed, so we'll build it out of smaller pieces. Fort El Dorado, yeah. Wait, is it? What's the name of the Fort El? Yeah, it is Fort El Dorado. What is the name of the cowboy fort Lego set? Or the Western fort set. What is that one called? Oh, Lego Rado. Okay, whoopsies. Oh, that's cool. That's awesome that you had it. But I just thought it was so. I was just like, oh, this is like the exact issue. I don't know. Granted, I look at the raised base plates that I have in my game, and I'm kind of ready to get rid of them for something more detailed at some point down the road. But it just feels kind of criminal that Lego moves away from all that stuff. Got a bunch more leaves again. Those bushes are done. And screw those bushes, man. Those bushes were not very far from my favorite thing we've built so far. All right, what time are we at here? It's been an hour and a half. Maybe we'll do one more tree or something. Let's take a look. What do we got over here? All right, got another one of these. This one I have up actually. Turns out I've got another brown one. I still have quite a few to go after this. It's kind of crazy. But you know what? Not bad. Not bad for like a $150 haul. I'm not even sure if they've all arrived yet, to be honest. I think they did. I haven't counted them. I'm going to have to at some point and be like, hey, did I actually get all of my AliExpress knockoff Legos. So you gotta be careful with AliExpress. I feel like sometimes you order things and it's not like Amazon. Sometimes things don't show up and you gotta get on their case about it. So this one is going to be just like this guy, actually. Another dead brown tree. I can't remember if I was going to put these in like the snowy area or if I was going to put them over in Surla where all the dead trees are. I guess it'll depend on, really just on how they look. And try it in both spots. I think it'd be kind of weird to have them in the snow area. I feel like they should have snow on their leaves if I have it over there. Like white leaves. Yeah, these do look really nice. This is a big upgrade from these trees. As much as I love those trees, they are obsolete to the point where I think I might just take them all off of my board. Maybe I'll give them to my niece or something. And she's not really that into Legos though, so it'd be lost on her. Put a black version of the tree in the fire. Oh, like a... What if I put one that's black and then I actually put like fire on it? That would be kind of like a burning tree. There's an idea. Does Lego make black leaves? I don't think I've seen them in the knockoffs, and I feel like that's a weird color to make a leaf out of. But it would be cool. All right, my favorite step is step 4, where we just admire the tree. And then we're on to making these leaves. Okay. I have memorized the leaf pattern by now. At least for these side trees, I have. Or these side branches. Whoop. And on this side, we do the same kind of thing. Oops. Okay. And then on this side, we just stack 3 leaves on top of each other. I like these trees a lot because they're like kind of stupidly simple in how they're put together. And they still work. Except that's not working for some reason. Oh, that's nice, reading your kid a bedtime story. That's awesome. I don't ever see kids in my future, but if I did, reading bedtime stories sounds like one of the dopest experiences you could have as a parent. I'd be all about that. Okay, Those are our leaves down here, and we're gonna brick our way up here. On there. Look at how fast I've gotten with this tree. This tree is like not even taking me like I feel like 10 minutes to build. I just have it memorized. I know all of its moves. Okay, then we're gonna go. One, two, 4, and a little bit more leafage up here on the top. Perfect. And 2 more bonus leaves to the pile. Splendid. All right, that took me way less time than I thought it was going to take. I actually do think that took me less than 10 minutes to do. So let's grab one more tree, and then that's going to be the last one for today. What do I want to do here? I don't want to do anything too crazy. Maybe one of those spruce trees again. Okay. So name those. This one's a dead spruce tree. I think it's going to still be... I think it's this instruction set. Except it's all brown instead of brown and green. I think. Yeah, that looks like all the same moves. Get this guy started. We got this. Gotta get a nice tree stump here. Stick these 2 together. And this bar. Oh, that's kind of painful on the fingers. There we go. Gosh, there was nothing worse as a kid than trying to build Lego sets on carpet because you didn't know any better. Like when you're real little, before you develop the mental acuity to realize that, hey, you kind of need a hard surface to keep all this stuff together and to press it down. But oh man, I remember trying to put together, I think it was like one of those, what series of space was it? Ooh, I can't remember. The one with had like a half, like the front of it like looked kind of like a flying saucer, but the back of it looked kind of like an X-wing. I don't know if anyone knows the name of it, but I remember trying to put together that set as a little kid, but on like the carpet in my living room, and that thing kept falling apart every time I put a piece on it. I was getting so frustrated. I was so frustrated that I feel like I was like 5 years old or something. And now I'm 32 and I still remember it so vividly. Did I put the right number in these? 1, 2, 3, 4 on each one? Yeah, and that's only on the bottom set. Okay, these next 2 are just 3 on each one. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and 3. So this is probably going to end up being my last stream until after Christmas. Well, it for sure has to be my last stream until after Christmas because I am going to be out of town. I will not have access to any of the stuff I need to stream. Plus, I would be being a very poor friend and poor son and uncle and brother and all those things if on my few days I've got up to see my family, I am live streaming Lego stuff to my 4 or 5 viewers that tune in for that. That would be kind of bad. But I probably will be streaming, or I will be streaming for sure after Christmas again. I do, though, have a video that's basically done. I think I just need to make a thumbnail for it, so I'll be uploading that at some point while I'm gone, maybe these next couple days. So there will be a little bit of content coming out. These are all correct, right? 1, 2, 3. Yep. Okay. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. All right. On to these ones. 2 sets of 2. I will say this little spruce tree, also a very repetitive build, but there is something kind of relaxing and therapeutic about it. It's not too tough on the fingers to assemble. Everything slides in very nicely. Those bushes were the opposite of a therapeutic Lego set. They were almost as bad as the tree with the last step to add 48 leaves at once. Got 2 there and 2 here. Yeah, that looks kind of, I feel like I need to rotate that a little bit. That looks better. Plop that there. And then we got 2 rows of just 1. Nice and easy. Ooh. I think the other thing that's relaxing about building these spruce trees is that each step gets a little bit shorter along the way. So you kind of like you're building this momentum as you're putting it together. That's another one. Lock it in. And are all those basically extra pieces? It looks like it. Oh, we do another. I forgot we do one more row like this. And then I think let me stick this in upside down to get our point at the top. Okay, love it. I actually kind of feel like it's a little bit stubby at the top. I think I need to pull this out more. Ooh. Oops. Might be getting too greedy again. Who knows? Let's see. Let's push these down a little bit. Oh, that one's already got a little bit of wear from bending. I don't want that showing up at the top of the tree in all places. Like I almost think like that high would be better. Maybe a little bit down. Yeah, I like that. Take care, Rowan's Tree. Have a good night. Have a wonderful holiday. Whoop. Alrighty. Another spruce tree completed. Okay, I'm gonna do one last palm tree, just because they take like no brain power. Oops. Got a little overeager there. That's everything, right? One, two. Yeah. Nice, simple, straightforward. No instructions needed. Could build this in my sleep. Another leaf over here, and another leaf here. There we go. Perfect. 2 palm trees done. A boatload of extra leaves again. Wish I had more brown pieces to do cool things with those leaves, but that's okay. All right, I think that is going to be it. Am I literally blocking myself with this tree? Have I been blocking myself with that tree for the entire last build? I guess that would make sense. Okay, well, that is going to wrap up our live stream for today. That's gonna be our last live stream until after Christmas. But I'll be posting at least one video between now and the next one. So I'll post a video the next couple days. And then hopefully I do some other cool stuff after Christmas time. We'll see what I end up cooking up. I still got to make a video for Sir Simon Oblive, the leader of the Monkey Spearmen, for the Cuss Kingdom. I know I got kind of sidetracked from that because I've been doing so much with like the board and things like that. So it's just where my attention's been going lately. But I'll have to get around to that at some point too. So who knows? Hoping it'll go a lot better. I have a nicer mic, so I won't be fiddling around with audio as much when I'm editing and things like that. But yeah. Alrighty. Hey, thank you for viewing. If you're viewing afterwards, thank you for tuning in. Those of you who tuned in at various points. Other than that, be happy, be healthy, be well. I'll see you next time here in the Circle of Realms.